Cancer, and welcome to your horoscope for 2021. Thank you for joining me. I've had a look at what the outer planets are doing in your chart this year and how that's going to affect you. So I'm just going to give you an idea of which areas are really amazing for you this year and which ones you'll have to work on a little bit more. First of all, we've got Jupiter, the lucky planet, sitting in your 8th house of others and death and the things that are hidden and institutions you belong to, and you in connection with groups of people. Jupiter is there, and Jupiter is the biggest planet in our solar system, and it's about giving you good luck and good fortune and effortless growth and expansion. So with Jupiter in that 8th until June, you will find that any kind of institutions you belong to, you really grow into those. So if you're, in recovery, they often say about being in the lifeboat, something like that. You shouldn't be on the fringes, like on the periphery, just attending meetings and saying hello and stuff. You should be in the lifeboat, and that means making the coffees and having a service position and doing jobs so that you form real connections with people, and that you're at the center and not on the outskirts, because if you're on the outskirts, it's easier to fall off. So if you're in a job or you're part of some sort of educational facility, institution, like a school or university, or you're a research scientist working in a lab, or you're a part of this big family, you're really going to feel a sense of belonging, and like you get the people around you and the common purpose, the ideology, you can really buy into that. Saturn is also in your 8th house, and Saturn is there all year. Saturn is structure and security and making things more rigid and solid. So with your personal kind of sense of I belong here, this is good for me, and Saturn sitting there, you're really able to build long-lasting connections with institutions. So it might be that you have a partnership. Maybe you're a voice actor and a GPS, like a navigation device company, gets in touch with you and says, I would like your voice on our GPS to show people where to drive. And that may be like a 10-year-long collaboration where they sell your voice on the GPS, and because you did it in 2021, it's something that you're setting up to serve you in future. It's interesting, because Cancer, you guys, often when I do your readings, it has to do with the domestic sphere of life and taking care of other people, because you guys are really, really good at that. But this year is almost like taking your energy out of the domestic sphere of life, the home, the children, the family, the wives, the husband, and putting it into an area of your life where it's you and groups of people, institutions, people who've got together to work on a common cause and goal, and you're really able to slot into that and make a huge contribution. So it's almost like you're taking care of an adopted family, but it's a family of strangers who pay you for your expertise. Jupiter moves into your 9th house of education and travel and expansion. It's traditionally ruled by Sagittarius, the sign of the Centaur, which is ruled by Jupiter, so it's really happy in the 9th house. And with Jupiter in the 9th, you get this huge desire to learn more and to broaden your area of expertise, and to gather more information, also to travel on a practical, physical level, to have more experiences in life. You're really going to consume a lot of life, which means that you live in the moment, you're interested in having fun and experiencing new things, you're open-minded, you're kind of nestled and secure in this institution you belong to, but you want to have more experiences on top of that. Oh, and one other thing I want to say about the 8th, it's often the house that has to do with what's hidden, what people don't kind of get. And you tap into that nicely. You understand what's going on with other people really easily, and even groups of people. You'll get a vibe of what is going on here, what's going to work, what isn't going to work. And you're not confrontational about it. You're not telling me the whole story. I can't trust you. You're just much more compassionate, and you understand what may be going on for people, and you know what they need and how to provide that. So you're going to be really, really popular when it comes to you working with other people. And even I would go out on a limb here and say friendships too, because you have a natural understanding. Exactly, I gave you a 10 out of 10 for friendships, because you have this natural understanding of what's going on with people, and rather than kind of presenting them with this and why it doesn't work for you, you are much more generous and you help them through stuff. Pluto's in your 7th. Pluto is Hades in mythology. It's the underworld and the world above. So it's night and day. It's death and life. It's rebirth and transformation. That means that there's a lot of energy in your 7th house of relationships. So there will be a lot of change happening there, both in your relationships with everybody, really. Family, your colleagues, your lovers. There's the potential to spark something new. So if things are really kind of small in terms of your social life at the moment, you've lost friends, you're single, family lives abroad, that's actually good, because Pluto takes things from one and transforms them into the other. So if life seems kind of limited at the beginning of 2021 Cancer, then the way to transform your relationships is to get in touch with institutions who you work for, you do charity work, you volunteer, whatever. It will bring a lot of new people into your life, and it will transform your existing circumstance and make it really different. If you're in the best place ever with millions of friends, and you've got a boyfriend, and you're married, and you've got the kids, and all your colleagues adore you and love you, then there will still be changes to those relationships. Try not to dig your heels in and listen to what other people are saying and be adaptable. Okay, you don't want to work here anymore. You're my best employee, but I can't force you to stay, can I? No, you can't. So you've got to try and accommodate other people's needs, because there will be a lot going on in 2021. And the one thing that is guaranteed for you is that your relationships aren't going to look the same at the end of 2021 as they did beginning of 2021. Uranus is in your 11th house. Uranus is energy, it's the miraculous, it's what you really couldn't see coming, it's what you would have never expected. And that is in your 11th house of hopes and dreams being realized. So you can really expect to do well in institutions you work in and that you belong to. Also, hopes and dreams when it comes to educating yourself and making life bigger that way is really positive. So if you have any hopes and dreams that you're working on, Uranus gives you the fuel to really manifest those into reality. And also, again, it supports your friendships, and it means that there's a lot more energy happening in that sector of your life, and people will come and go in droves in 2021, and you're not going to be on your little lonesome by yourself, Cancer, in 2021. It's really a great year to build new family structures with people who aren't your blood relatives, and to really create secure long-term connections, like friendships which last for 20 years, you know, those kind of things. Neptune's in your 9th. So use your intuition when it comes to, should I travel, should I educate myself, should I move, should I make my life bigger by bringing more people into it. You won't have all the answers. It's not going to be this done deal. You're not going to get a note through the door saying, take this course in hypnotherapy, you're going to make 10 grand from it a year. It's not going to be specific like that. It's much more about, does this make me feel good? Does it make me feel at peace and contented? Is this a hope and dream of mine? And if the answer is yes, then really continue with that, because you'll be able to manifest this more informed, more expert, more settled person who you want to become by listening to your intuition. It's really important that you don't dismiss your own gut feelings in 2021, because those are really going to guide you and steer you in the right direction. Chiron's in the 10th house of career, and Chiron is the wounded healer. So if you're in a situation where work hasn't been particularly wonderful and thrilling, you're really able to heal that by taking personal action. So if you decide to make changes in your working life, and also all your new buddies are going to be able to help you, because you've got a whole network, you've got people who also work, you've got people who are educating you, or you've got experiences if you're traveling. So you use all of these people as a resource. You're not using them, you're just chatting to them and saying, hey, I don't like my job, what do you do? And if the person says, I do something fabulous that you would love to do too, then consider doing that, because you can really heal your working life in 2021. So I've given you marks out of 10 for different areas of life. So for love, you get an 8, because with Pluto in the 7th, there's a lot happening and you can really pick and choose. Career is 9, because you can really heal that. Family is 4, because your focus isn't really on family. It's about creating a new family and working with people. Health is a 7. Friendships 10, because there's huge potential to make long-term super, super secure friendships. Spirituality a 10. Yup. And that's mainly because of Jupiter in the ninth. So it's not about like, I'm going to sit down and meditate and download spiritual info. It's kind of feeling empowered to learn practical things, and that will give you a sense of fulfillment in an indirect kind of way. So spirituality 10, money 7, you can heal your career, and travel 10, because you'll have a huge desire to experience new things to make your life bigger. So that's what I get for you, Cancer, in 2021. It's an interesting year because it doesn't really focus on the area where you're most comfortable. It really puts you out into the public this year. And if you're someone who really wants to make it happen in terms of your life purpose and doing something with other people that you absolutely adore and love, this is your time to do it. So this horoscope is for sun sign Cancer. Then it's for rising sign Cancer if you want more info. And finally, it's for the moon sign Cancer if you really, really want a lot of info. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and share the video online. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on Book Your Readings to order your reading with me. Have a wonderful year, an amazing 2021 ahead, and I'll speak to you soon.